Hello traders, in today's session you're going to get to see how I trade the micro NQ. Now what I get asked virtually on a daily basis, which are my favorite markets to trade, and I'd have to say the ES, CL, gold, and of recent times a micro NQ, because we've got such great volume and such a great daily trading range. So in today's session I'm going to be playing back a live trading session where you get to see how I execute trades. I'll also show you some trades I've just fired off today, a couple of hours ago, and I'll give you a good overview of how I trade this market. As always traders, I do need to bring up the disclaimer: there is a risk in trading. Please don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. I'm asked every day, how come I have such a high win-loss ratio? And it's because I trade patterns. Now I've been day trading now for 28 years, so after a period of time, of course, things become second nature. But the great part about what I teach my students, my members, is that everything I do is based on a pattern, and we're very good as human beings picking up and identifying patterns. So in today's session I'm going to be let's see here, I'll play back the session from the 10th of August 2026, and in this session the market was very slow on this day, so I was trading the micro NQ for 10.5. Now normally if I'm trading say the ES or even the big contract on the NQ, I'd be trading at 10.5, but on the ES I'd be trading at 2.1 during the same time frame. So the ES has got this incredible volatility, and what's great about it is these massive waves that we get. And when you identify how to clearly identify how to enter these waves, it makes life so much easier and trading so much easier. So on this day I'd fired off here 3 for 3. Then I saw another trade a little later, just over here, and we've got codes because I've got probably about 30 different patterns. However, the good news is there's only 2 patterns that you need to learn, okay, and you see them every day multiple times. So over here we had a T10 and that boosted my return. Now I just want to show you what this means to you, the trader, the bottom line. Now if you're going to trade, or if you can trade for 10 tick and on the micro NQ, now the thing is, can you trade it? Because for an example right now, as you're about to see in a moment, the 16 tick is the market I'd be trading, and I was trading earlier. Why? The 10 tick was just too fast. But the bottom line is, if the 10 tick is slow enough, or if you're a really good scalper and willing to use market orders, you only need $900 to trade that market, or I should say this time frame and this market. Now if we went for just $45 a day, and of course I'm going to be showing you how to do that in a moment, within 16 weeks we potentially have got an income of $5,000 a week. Within 19 weeks we're up to our nearly 12,000 a week. Now you can actually download a copy of my spreadsheet here, and if I just bring this down, what this enables you to do, traders, is to actually tailor a trading plan. For an example, if I was to trade the 2 tick ES, okay, I know that if I want to be really conservative, I need an account size of $6,250. Now what that means is I'm never risking any more than 2%. that is, I'm willing to go up to a 10 tick stop. And number one, everything we do, traders, we are money managers. Now the other thing that just come to mind I've got to mention is I've got thousands of members, and I've got, as you'll see in a moment, 300 members in my live trading room, and about the same in a coaching room I run. And so I run live trading sessions every week, and something that comes up continually from new members, they expect to pick it up like that. What I teach is not rocket science, but you've got to be willing to put the time in to learn the patterns, to practice your executions, your entries, your exits, and how to use your trading platform. Unfortunately, traders, for some reason, I don't know what it is, they all think they can, within an hour they can be away and mastering the art of day trading. Traders, I learn something new every day. Once again, it's not difficult, as you're about to see, but you've got to be willing to put some screen time in. Now on this basis, 350 a day, which in my opinion is very conservative for the ES, we've got a $10,000 a week income down here within about 14 weeks. Okay, and there's something wrong. I know what I haven't done. There we go. Oops, I thought, gee, that's not quite right. So within 10 weeks they're up to 13,000 a week. Now, as I mentioned, you can download a copy of this spreadsheet and how it actually works. And by the way, excuse my lighting here. I'm a trader, not a marketer, so I don't have all those big fancy dome lights that you see online nowadays. But what I was going to say is, how the spreadsheet works, you only start trading a second contract each time you double your money. Now on top of that, this does not allow for lost days or down days, so you would typically add 25% to what you wish to achieve. Okay, so here this will give me 350 a day, or on 10 contracts, 3,500. But what I'm after at the end of a week is a net after all costs 10,000 a week, and you should be romping that in if you trade with trend. Now for the young guns here, what we can see down here is that within 12 weeks there's your 25,000 a week trading 15 contracts. Now I want to say this because this is trading the 2 tick. Generally during the New York hours you're going to be trading a 4 tick if you're trading the ES, which means you need a larger account size. Now I know what some of you are thinking, 6 grand? I don't need 6 grand. My broker tells me I only need 500 or 1,000. Yes, that is correct. However, what if your risk is $125 or 12 ticks? Okay, in that particular case that's 2% of 6250. But you can start on the micro. Another great area to start is on this, the NASDAQ. Sorry, I was thinking the nifty NAS and the nasty NAS. We have sort of two names for it because it can be very whippy, but the beautiful part about it is you can increase the time frame. So if you go for $45 a day, you're on your 5 grand a week potentially within months. Now if we go for $90 a day, you're there within 10 grand a week within 8 weeks. Now the question is, and he who asks the questions receives the answers. It's not, oh, I'll never be able to do that. It's how do we do that? What we need is 5 8-step trades, or 6, my apologies, or 7 6-step trades, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a moment, and I'll play back the trades and you'll be able to watch and I'll explain step by step. Now what I want to show you here is my trades from today, and I'll show you on the charts in a moment. Here this is 30 minutes of trading. I was up 2100 trading 20 contracts. Now the amount of contracts I trade depends on the capital requirements. Could you trade 50 a day on the micro? No problems at all. We're seeing typically now volumes of 2 to 3 million contracts a day on the micro NQ, massive volume, as more and more traders are discovering the benefits of trading the NASDAQ because of those wide stops we can have, so we can capitalize on those big swings. Now if you trade the 16 tick like I've got just here, and if you go for just 100 a day, which is my target on the micro NQ 16 tick, look where you are in 11 weeks. There's your 10 grand a week trading 25 contracts starting with 1400. Now before you say, oh BS, you can't do that, wait and see how I trade them live as I explain it to you. I'm going to give you the logic behind my madness in a moment. Now the 16 tick also is going to be too fast for the New York hours, and in one of our coaching sessions a few days ago, Roman, who's been a member, I think he said of mine since 2016, we were talking about the different time frames, and he's trading the micro NQ 30 tick, It's a great thing that, and this is his comment out of a chat box, you can easily target 250 a day on one micro, much better idea than the 16. And what we were talking about is trading the 16 tick during New York, which is very difficult. It's too fast. Now to trade the 30 tick, you would require to stay within our 2% rule, $2,600. Now that's during the New York hours. Now if you don't have that, you can start by trading, for an example, the micro ES, or there are other markets, the micro Russell, where you don't need as much capital. But look at your return within 8 weeks, potentially 10 grand a week. Within 10 weeks, trading only 23 contracts, basically a 20,000 a week income, and your account's now up to 65,000. How? That's the question you've got to ask. 4 7-step trades a day, and you'll see what that is in a moment. Now very quickly, a quick advertisement. If you haven't already downloaded my ebook, The Truth About Day Trading, please see the description link below. I've already mentioned you can also download the spreadsheet I've just shown you, so you can sort of tailor your own plan, because when you gain clarity, traders, it allows you to really focus on how am I going to achieve this. So very important that you really put time into developing your trading plan. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you're a new or experienced trader, come and join me for $297. For $297 you get all of my indicators for Ninja Trader. If you use another trading platform, I give you all of the indicators that members have provided for other platforms, but I give you the indicator settings I use, so you can easily set up what I do on any trading platform. I don't have anything that's so-called proprietary. I might have customized my indicator settings, but most of my indicators are available on a good trading platform. Now $297 gives you lifetime access. Now I've already mentioned I run a live trading room. Last time I checked, I think we've got 306 permanent members, okay, of the live room, and I run, so that's 3 2-hour sessions a week, and I run a coaching room where I'm walking you through money management, where to enter, where to exit, a lot more of a nitty-gritty of trading as well, which is essential. You know, there's a saying that what you don't know can't hurt you. That's absolute crap when it comes to trading. What you don't know can be seriously detrimental to your financial health. It really can be. The little things are what counts. Money management, risk, do we have a pivot, etc., and you'll see some of those in a moment. So I've also got a bonus with the $297 where you can attend 1 month free of my live trading room and my coaching room. If you can't attend those sessions, they are recorded. You have lifetime access to those and to the members area. There are hundreds of videos there, literally. There are indicator settings. There's, if anything, members will say, oh, there's so much, where do I start? I get you on the right track right from the day one. You start with 2 setups, 2 specific setups. Now as I mentioned, and this is the last bit on the ad, for $297 you get lifetime access. There's dozens and dozens, hundreds of videos. There's I'd say there's hundreds. There'll be at least 200, I'd say. So there's hundreds of hours here, but relax, you don't have to watch them all, okay? Plus you get 1 month free to the live trading room and to the coaching room. Let's move on. Let's get into this. So this is a critical part of what I do and how I trade. I'm looking for retracements and then trend continuation trades back in the direction of a higher time frame. You'll see that I take a lot of counter trend trades, but I've been trading nearly 29 years, so I've got that advantage of experience. But what I say to all new traders is don't trade CT trades, counter trend trades initially, or reversion to the mean trades. Stick with trading with the trend, okay? And as you're about to see, I'll probably have counter trend trades I've fired off during these sessions. However, there's a ton, as you're about to see, with trend trades. Focus on those to begin with. So let's go to the charts and the recording. So let's start here, and this is where we are right now. And what I'm going to do is just remove my camera there so you can see the full chart here. This is the 16.8. now it's actually 2 a.m. on Wednesday, so Wednesday morning, 19th of August. So if we go back just a couple of hours ago where I was live trading this market, just back here, so that was at just before midnight. Now I was about to say, oh, that's right. I was thinking, what was I going to say? By the way, traders, I don't run to a script here. Okay, I'm explaining what I see and as I think of it. The market closes at 5 p.m. Eastern. That is the futures market. Closes at 5 p.m. Eastern and reopens at 6 p.m. And so you can trade the after hours market, which there's just some fantastic trading opportunities during that time. And if, for an example, if we look at this now, yes, it is 2 a.m. Central Standard Time now. Okay, so we're sort of I'm 3 hours away from running my live trading room actually, but down here we can see this is the volume since the market opened. And the reason this is important, if you look at the micro NQ, nearly 500,000 contracts. We're on the ES 86,000 and on the micro ES 104,000. So there's this massive advantage where you've got this really liquid market. So if we just go back to these setups for a moment, okay, and I just marked up a couple of other trades after that. I had a with trend trade there. This is a counter trend trade that I got out at break even. Another trend trade, and by the way, I'll do a recording on this session in a couple of, I've got that many, there's dozens there I haven't had a chance to record, but I have recorded this. Now I got out at a bit better than break even on this one because the market was ticking up. See this gold line? I want you to remember the term follow the gold. You want to be trading in the direction of the gold, and yes, you'll make a lot of gold. So here, if we talk about trend following, we had one there, here, that was a counter trend trade, by the way, and that was a nice trade I had there. And we had one there and you had one there. Now notice that black line. Whenever we buy here, I won't get into what that is, but you want to get to break even when you get to it, or take profits. Why? We quite often bounce and then we rolled over again, and you can see where we are now. For members watching, the other thing, and even for the general public here that are watching this is called an overlay chart. I won't get into all the details of the overlay chart, but down here I've got indicators from a number of indicators here from my anchor chart 1. Now if we go back here, I don't know if you noticed it, but where I said, let me just where are we, get back to this. See where I said no anchor chart, long-term stochastic 13H or MACD, and I've got custom settings on all of these. So even though we had a potential long just there, nothing on the anchor chart 1 confirmed the trade. In fact, we can see here quite clearly we are rolling over. So let me pull up the recording and let's play it back from last Monday. Where are we? Videos to produce. We have the August and I've just got to go back. I hope I've got the right one. Where are we here? What date was that? The 10th. That's not what we want. This is the 10th. Okay, so let me play this video for you and I'm going to explain the setups that I actually took here. In fact, I took 3 trades and then I ended up taking a 4th trade, which I'll show you in a moment. Now what I want you to notice is over to the left here, Sunday at 23:36 Central Standard Time, the market opens at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Sundays, and so that is Monday morning down under. So that's 8 a.m. in my part of the world Monday. So if you see that, I didn't know you could trade Sunday. You sure can from 6 p.m. onwards. So I've got a pattern here called a T10. It's also known as a money on the floor trade or a ka-ching trade, and here I am short. You can see my stop loss is well above just here, and that's above a pivot. Now these lines you can see here are what we call pivots. Now once you learn how to trade those, they're incredibly valuable and they'll make you a lot of money. They become what we call a self-fulfilling prophecy, because as professional traders we buy and sell into pivots and major EMAs. Why? Because they make great targets and great support resistance levels. Now see where my target is down here. Now I'm going for a larger target, and the reason I'm going for a larger target is down below I've got a pivot, I've got a major EMA, so I've got major support down here, and usually it makes a great target. Now once again you're seeing live action. I've just hit record. Well, this is from the 9th, and here I haven't hit my target. Now 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now let me just remind you here of this. Now just there, these are what I call the steps I was referring to. So remember a few minutes ago I said we want to look at how many steps we've got. So if we look at this here, I'm after if I'm trading for just $45 a day, I'm after 4 6-step trades a day, or if I'm after 90-day, which is a 10% return, I'm after 7 6-step trades a day. Now is that reality? You bet it is, especially on the 10-5. Okay, now what the 10-5 means is the Renko candle is 10 ticks from the high to the low, but that step value is 5 ticks. By the way, if you don't understand it, you soon will. A couple of hours of coaching and training, you soon pick it up. This ain't rocket science. Now I've made a new lower low, so I could have easily been out of there. Was that 8 steps? 1 2 3 4 5. That was 8 steps. Now let's just say here, if I wasn't in this trade already, I'd be looking for a trade in this area, actually about here now, and I've added to this position. Now I'm short 25 contracts originally, and now I've shorted another 25. Now very important point when it comes to adding to a position. We never ever add to a position if we have greater than 2% risk. Remember, we are money managers. First of all, traders, we are managing our capital. Traders keep wondering why they never make it. It's because of greed, fear, lack of discipline, but usually the biggest one is greed. They want to get in there and make a fortune overnight. They don't approach it as a business. And what I'm telling you now, by the way, yes, I want to sell you my program. I want you to join my live trading room. And by the way, there's no automatic sign up, but I want you to continue with your membership there, of course. But by being blunt, there's going to be a lot of traders that won't sign up because I'm not telling them what they want to hear. But the reality is, traders, there are rules. You break those rules, you're not going to make it. Now here I never risk any more than 1% in a trade. So what that means is if I get another really good trade set up, I can add to my position. So here I'm out of my original trade now, and just note there I've popped through, and no, I was about to pull my target right down here, because I don't know if you noticed, but my target was on the other side of the pivot. Now that's not always a good idea. Now we did sort of push through over here and over here, but we don't always do that. So it's good to get to break even when you hit a pivot. Okay, so now I pause the video there, and I'm now long here, and this is what we call a T3. Now this is a reversal. In a way, your T10 is a reversal as well. This was a trend following setup, and this is a reversion to the mean. Now I discovered some years ago a, a little, well, I don't want to say it's mathematical, but it is in a way. From the high of the lowest candle vertically to our major gold EMA, if we are so many ticks away, we don't need to have any divergence, and it's a very high probability trade where we will come up and as a minimum hit the 34 EMA, which is the gold line. New traders, I don't want you to trade these initially. As you're about to see, there's a ton of great trading or great trend following trades there for an example in here. Now just note I've now gone the break even, so this is now a risk-free trade. Now on this I had a target there of $45 a day. Now as I mentioned, usually on the 16 tick for an example, I'd be after 100 a day. So we've now hit, so that's 3 out of 3. We had a T10 that's called a T20-1, and we just had a TR, and there was another setup we call a T10. See that one there? It's in inverse, just in the opposite direction. Okay, now just there we've now hit the end of that session, and we could see, let me just pause that. So we're 3 from 3, maximum stop of 36 ticks or $18 per contract, and you saw the compound effect of that is incredible. Now sometime later I then, so when I say sometime, what is that, probably 20 minutes, half an hour later, I then had another setup over here. Now this is called it's actually a T10, but on a higher time frame. Okay, a very high probability trade on a higher time frame. You see, I trade with what I call an entry chart and an anchor chart 1 and 2. Once again, 4 or 5 hours of screen time, you'll really pick that up, particularly how to use an entry chart and an anchor chart 1. Traders, if you're not willing to put that time in, you're not going to make it, and that is a minimum. I actually say to traders, you've got to treat your trading as a 90 to 180 day internship. Okay, once again, and especially if we start you out by trading using Renko candles, it makes it so much easier. Now let's just talk plain vanilla entries that everyone here would have clearly identified. See, it's hard for you to see there, but you've got little white arrows in the direction of the trend. They are trade entries. You have deeper pullbacks that I call 2Bs. Now look how many steps you get out of those. Now you wouldn't be in until here, but 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. The same again here. Now here you've only got 6 in that move, but when you have deeper retracements, now's the time for us to go for a larger move. Okay, and we get these setups day in, day out. I mean, look at this here, there. Now you might have considered this one just here. If you had have taken that one, you were stopped, but there's a couple of challenges with that one. We need to check our higher time frame, but also we're hard up against the pivot, and the 34 is a much better trade entry. But what if you did take it? You are stopped on that and you're straight back in it again. Now another important thing that I do teach my members is how to trade divergence, because just here you've got these really big, and actually I just want to go back to that one. Was that a divergence? Yes, it was. See this one just here, higher high on price, and over on my anchor chart, higher high on price, and my MACD platinum, it's a customized MACD. You can set this up on any MACD, but it's called a zero lag. This gives me a beautiful divergence trade. So for the experienced traders here that want to learn not only how to trade with the trend, but your counter trends, your reversion to the mean setups, etc. You're in the right place. And what's important is all of these are patterns, so you can print the patterns out. You know exactly what you're looking for, you know where your stop loss goes, etc. Traders, this, as I mentioned, is not rocket science. Anyone can learn this if you're committed. You don't have to be a rocket science, you don't have to have great IT skills, but you've got to be willing to put some effort in. So as you can probably tell, I'm sort of get a little frustrated with traders because they think all of a sudden, you know, they can see me trade, but once again, 28 years, but I can get you within months up and running and mastering these setups as well. Come and join me. 297 gives you lifetime access, a month to my live trading room, a month in the coaching room, no automatic sign up. Yes, you can join and continue with those. There's hundreds of traders. In fact, I've already shown you that anyway. I've got hundreds in my room. So traders, I'll see you in the next video. Have a really good look at the micro NQ. I think it's the market to go for right now. I really do. Thanks traders.